So here we go. This is the next carving that I'm starting to work on. As you can see, I've done a little bit playing with the grains and seeing how it cuts. I got this basswood from Woodcrafts at least a month or two ago. I think I've done 4 or 5 carvings out of it, relief carvings. You've probably seen most of them. They're deserts, there's a lighthouse, different things like that. But this one, as you can see, it's still a desert scene with a little bit of a city, but I'm gonna put a little UFO in there, and it'll be probably a night sky with a moon and some clouds. But you know, the way I do things, and I don't know if it's the way everybody does things, but it's definitely the way I like to do them, is it's the reverse of painting almost. When I was a painter, you would start with the very, very back and then work your way all the way to the very front part. So you'd start with sky, and you do your clouds, your spaceships, mountains, tree, you know, so on and so forth. But with relief carving especially, you're taking things away instead of adding them. So you have your front where you want it, and then you slowly work back. Now I will carve all this out and then get to the point where I want the first set of the cities to go, and I'll redraw that in these mountains and then recarve that, and then carve everything else back down and do the stuff that's farther in the back, this little city here, these mountains and this mountain, and clean the back off, and then do probably start with my moon, then my clouds, and still keep cleaning up, and eventually the last thing I'll probably do is the spaceship, just because that should really kind of be the farthest point in the sky, the smallest thing, if you will. I am primarily a flex cut guy. These are the main tools I use next to V tools and some other things. I also have about 15 different of the UJ Rommelson tools, and they're really good. I like them. I have mainly the micros and the minis for smaller details, which these are the ones that I tend to use on like mountains and trees and cities to give it a tighter texture than the sky. I also will go against the grain in different directions, trying to get different textures, because then I'll paint them, and when you dry brush all those textures, it gives this different feel. But I mean, the more tools you have, the different stuff you can do. But these are really good. The UJs are nice, but the flex cuts, in my opinion, are some of the nicest tools out there in the price range. I mean, there's other things. Was it Badger State Blades? They make phenomenal tools. There's a guy I know, Frank, I can't remember his company's name. He makes phenomenal knives, but depending on where you are in life, they might not be that easy to pick up a $60, $70 carving tool, sometimes even more depending on the wood. Where the flex cuts, I mean, for the palm gouges and most of the knives, I mean, you're anywhere from 20 something to 30 something, and you can get them anywhere. You can go to Amazon, you can go to Woodcrafters. I'm lucky, I have a Woodcrafters probably 20 minutes away, and I need a tool, I can go down there, I can pick one up. You know, and that's where you can get a lot of wood. I've ordered, you know, some of my more traditional whittling square stock stuff I've ordered offline from a couple different places. But to my surprise, what I found out in my walk a few weeks ago at the Hobby Lobby is they have a pretty big selection of basswood and live edge basswood for doing relief carvings. If you have one in your town, it's a good place to go check out. I mean, they have probably 3 different sections of craft paint. You can get paint in the artist section, and then there's like 3 or 4 different ones in the crafting area. And I mean, they got all kinds of craft paint I didn't even know existed these days. Day-Glo, they got metal flake paint. I mean, it's pretty cool, the different stuff that Hobby Lobby has. Or depending where you are in America or the world, I guess, there's also a hardware store called Menards that we have a bunch of here, and they even have a hobby section with a lot of the live edge basswood and bigger, wider pieces that aren't really, I mean, for what you're getting, too expensive. It's 20 to, I think, at the lowest, and I think the biggest price I saw was like 30 something, but that was a huge piece of double-sided live edge basswood for carving. That was probably about 2 inches thick, and I like the 2-inch thick stuff because you can go really deep and do a lot of layers and make it really, really pop. But I mean, that's all just, you know, your preference, but that's kind of where I get my stuff for the most part. I can't really say one place is better than the other. I mean, it all depends on which one you can get to, the availability, and do you want the go and grab it, or do you want to order it and wait 3 days to a week to get it in the mail? I'm like the instant gratification of going to a store and looking at pieces and getting it. So that's more of what I've been into as I found it. Now, I mean, if I was going to order a bunch of 1x1s, 1.5 by 1.5, or 2x2s, there's a couple different places I order online because I get twice as much for the same price at a place like Woodcrafters. So I mean, you just have to look around to find out what you're really looking for, and you know, asking questions is always a great thing. You always can message and ask me anything. I'm always up to discuss carving or talk about anything to do with woodworking at all. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and if you do, please let me know because I'll make more. And soon I'm gonna get working on this one a little more. I have to strop all my tools up a little bit and get things a little sharper for my taste, but then after that, hopefully within the next few days to a week, because we do have 4th of July coming up, that I can get a video of me working on this. Even a time-lapse one would be cool. It's hard for me to talk as I work. So as things progress and I get more technologically advanced with the video and stuff, maybe I can just film them as I'm carving without the time lapse and go back and talk over what I'm doing. But again, you know, any questions, anything, please feel free to reach out. I always love talking about carving to anybody. And remember, always be safe. You need your hands. Hands are good. You don't want to cut your hands. Make sure you got a glove. Make sure you're thinking about it. Like, I have these pieces that lock it into place so it doesn't move on me too much. Safety should be your number one concern next to having fun creating stuff that you like. Yeah, so hopefully you're all having a good day. I appreciate y'all watching my channel, and hopefully there'll be more videos of me talking to come.